Hey, what's going on, guys? You're Echo, and welcome to part 3. Yes, that's right, part 3 of this F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Now, you're probably wondering, why does it say Canada and not Azerbaijan? Well, in fact, I'll just let you watch the footage.
Don't panic just yet, but we've seen a problem at our end. We're looking into it. It looks critical. Find somewhere to retire as soon as possible. We can't risk you carrying on with this race.
Yeah. Engine failure. Amazing. That's the, that's the risk we have to play at the moment, with bad reliability on the car and the fact that we've actually turned up the what's it called, simulation settings. No, not that one. Career settings. There we go. Yeah, full frequency, standard and high. Yeah, that is the risk of it all, and I don't mind that whatsoever. It brings a bit more of a realism to the game. So yeah, a bit sad, but we have to deal with it. We need to deal with that. So we've got 2 days spare before the Canadian Grand Prix, and here we go. Yeah, we've received no R&D. That's fine. Looks like the mechanical that happened caused by an issue with our opponents. Fortunately, the team managed to identify the cause of the issue and provided some useful insight into research efforts with no resource points. Awesome. Oh dear. Yeah, so we need to change out. In fact, I'm just going to just have all new parts, I think, because yeah, that was kind of weird. Not weird, but really cool at the same time. So we'll have some new parts in, and yeah, this is the standings. I forgot to show you who won the race. If I remember rightly, it was Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, he's winning again. Ferrari aren't doing well this season, only with the 9 points, so we could possibly beat Ferrari this season if we can, keep improving our car. As we'll go to powertrain and engine cover distribution. Okay, so that's what we need. So yeah, that'll be for next race. And then MG UK. There we go. I think it was the MG UK that went last time. Yeah, MG UK. So we definitely need to work on that. That's normally the first thing to get worn. As you can see, though, we are still the 4th worst team. So we're like the bottom end of the midfield cars. But yeah, there's not really much else that we can do. I do have some new bits and pieces here. Basically, I've just hit tier 100, so that is our car. We might use that as a one-off livery one day. I'm not too sure. I mean, I kind of like it. I wish I could change the colours, but we shall stick with this beauty. And then we've also got podium remotes. Let's have a look for posterity. That's something you'd see Lando Norris use. Let's go for that one. Of course, there will be better ones coming in the future. The item shop, I mean, there's no point in showing you an item shop, actually. It's not even there. Because I'm recording this on Saturday morning, and the episode most likely be out Friday, so like 6 days after I record this. But yeah, we've got a personnel department event.
The personnel team wants to run this one past you.
Simulation upgrade. New version of our simulation software has been released, and it contains a number of exciting features which really benefit our drivers. It's not covered under the existing licensing. Upgrades quite expensive. Should we go ahead with the purchase?
Handled
yes.
Well. Thank you.
Because it improves the racecraft from our teammate. But sponsor event
we had
done.
a major issue on the production line earlier this week.
5,000.
The entire development package for this weekend has failed.
And
any redevelopments will need to be ordered.
Yeah, that's kind of it, really. There's not really much else we can do. Of course, we've only got a 2-day break. And then after this race, I think it was France, if I remember correctly. Yeah, France. So that one should be fun. But yeah, unfortunately, actually, yeah, here we go. Look, I can show you the results from the last race. So Hamilton did win, Bottas second, and third was Verstappen, as per usual. Our teammate only finished in 18th, so he's got a better record than me at finishing. Of course, we finished 9th and 13th respectively. Latifi DNF'd. Who came fourth? It was Vettel that came fourth, so a good result for him. Lando Norris in 5th as well. That's 2 5th place finishes in a row. So yeah, I thought I'd just show you that. But nice little feature they've added into the game. Kind of annoying, but a cool feature nonetheless. But it's time to get into Q1 for the Canadian Grand Prix. So then the first lap of Q1, and as you probably saw from the little intro, there is rain. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this at all, as we're trying to negotiate the area of the Wall of Champions, and well, we actually get there all right as we come across the line, and we set a 1:19.849. Anyway, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to be quick around it in the wet, but second run of Q1. We're about a second quicker, and yeah, as we're about to cross the line, we are going to be about 1.2 seconds quicker. So that is pretty damn good, and that is actually enough, believe it or not, to see us into Q2 as we qualify in 15th. We are 3/10 quicker than Mick Schumacher. So why? Yeah, even I'm surprised. As you can see here, I'm going out on the mediums because it did stop raining, and I was looking on the tyre delta. And it was saying that, the mediums, well, the dry tyres are starting to get quicker. So I was like, you know what, let's just go out, do an outlap, see what it's like. And, it felt okay. It was still a bit slippery, as you can tell. But on this year's game, you can go it feels like you can go onto the dry tyres a little bit earlier than the previous games. And, unfortunately, the first time that we did on the mediums was actually slower than our Q1 time as we come across the line and do a 1:19.5. But I had enough fuel to do another run, so I was like, you know what, let's do it. And as you can see here, we're about 2.5 seconds quicker than our original time. So, it was, starting to get a lot drier as we almost pull it into the barrier. And we come across the line, and yeah, we go almost 3 seconds quicker. And then the track completely dried out, and it was time to do a run on the softs. And as you can see, we're now 7 seconds quicker as we go over the curb a little bit too much there. But coming up to across the line now, that's 7.4 seconds quicker. But unfortunately, that has put us. We haven't even got out of Q2. So we seem to be better in the wet as we're half a second slower than Kimi Räikkönen. But that's wet versus dry. But let's see what we can do in the race, as it is going to be a wet to dry race.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. The weather hasn't been ideal in qualifying. What's your take on it? You won't be starting at the front of the pack. Are you worried? It must be incredibly frustrating to not make it to the end of a race due to car issues. What went wrong out there? Appreciate your time.
Bonjour! It's time once again to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world, and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on a circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Sainz, Vettel, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, and Yuki Tsunoda, Ocon, Norris, Max Verstappen, and Raikkonen, the rookie, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Nikita Mazepin, Russell, Aitken, Latifi, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to this whatsoever. As you can see, starting on the wet tyres, and yeah, it is going to be drying out towards the end of the race, and you know, it kind of reminded me of the race that I did the other day on F1 2020 my league racing, and I kind of took inspiration from that race into this, as you are going to see very shortly. Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to this whatsoever, but hey, that's the joys of career mode, as 5 lights are out and away we go, and it's a very tentative start for everybody, of course, full wet. We do actually get quite a lot of wheel spin at the start, and yeah, look how slowly everyone's going. There we are on the inside, going to the outside, and with everyone going slowly, I was able to take advantage of you know, everyone going slow, so I decided to try and go around the outside. I am running, I think it was 11.8 wings, so very high wing setup today. And you know, it actually felt quite comfortable. I just cut the corner a little bit. Very naughty of me, I know. But yeah, you know, like I say, this year you do have to run a high wing setup. So we're almost going to the back of George Russell. And I tell you what though, I do love the replays this year, especially like after you've done the race, because you can actually see the order of the track. So GG Codemasters for that. And yeah, it gives us a bit of a clear indication. Of course, you know, they could have added a few other stuff as well, but maybe they did. I'm not too sure. I've never actually sat and watched full replays. Look at that, Nikita Mazepin, I think that was, decides to go down the inside, just bombards everyone, and he actually makes a couple of positions up as the VSC actually comes out, because I think it was Lance Stroll actually got front wing damage. So unfortunately we've actually lost out on a couple of positions. So yeah, at this point I was like, this is going to be such a long race, and believe me, it was. I think it almost took an hour to complete. I think probably less actually. I'm not too sure. You'll see at the end of the episode with all the timings and that. But after that one, we've got Bottas, Ricciardo, and Hamilton all leading the field. Ricciardo actually doing very well, as we're almost going to the back of Antonio Giovinazzi. But yeah, at least we've stayed out of trouble. We've got no damage, and fingers crossed our engine can actually do well today. Anyway, George Russell is going to look for a move down the outside, as Antonio Giovinazzi's actually got a 5-second time penalty, as we go for a big dive bomb on Giovinazzi, and we get the move done. We actually get the move done. Now, I will be honest, I forgot to show you the camera replay on that. I was just concentrating so much in the wet, because yeah, it's, you know, 35 laps in the wet. It's a big ask. But going on to lap 3, we finally got another position. We're now up into P17, and you know, it's going to be a long race, and I wasn't excited for this whatsoever. But next up, it is Nikita Mazepin. Obviously, we're not going to go for a move down the inside just yet, but you know, we actually seem to be okay in a straight line, considering that we've got a high wing setup, like say 11.8 wings. And yeah, ERS active, going down the inside at turn 1. Can we get the move done and dusted? Ooh, not just yet. We're going side by side, and we actually do well to keep it on the track, and there we go, up into P16. We're starting to make some moves it, which is always good to see. And on to lap 6 then. We gonna try and catch up to Mick Schumacher as soon as possible. So yeah, fingers crossed we can do well. And I was just there as well, just because the rain seemed to have gotten less heavy. So I was like, yeah, if you look on the screen, I've got subtitles on so you can actually see what's happening as well. Seriously, slick tyres, Jeff? I don't think so. It won't be quicker. But the rain definitely was getting less. There was less rain. And at this time I was like, do I go on to the intermediates? I am very tempted to actually do it. And that is when the safety car came out. For this instant, Sergio Perez, I think that is, losing it at the World of Champions. So I actually decided to come in for the Inters, and I did this a couple of days ago actually, for the Mexico Grand Prix when I was doing my league race on F1 2020, and this strategy actually worked out. I was a little bit slower for the first couple of laps on them, but it seemed to be okay. And you know what? We get a little bit of wheel spin, which is to be expected, getting the power down straight away. And yes, we are now at the back of the grid, but I'm going to have the advantage here if this actually works out, as we actually are allowed to go past safety car this time. Thank goodness for that. But yeah, safety car is coming in, I think. No, not yet. Actually, yeah, look at this. Everyone now, a few laps later, is in the pits. So I've actually made another great strategy call, as Yuki Tsunoda is now out of the race as well. I think it might be an electrical issue. Although I don't know. Was it an electrical issue? Was it a thingy issue? Engine issue? I don't know. But as the safety car comes in, I was thinking, why is everyone just speeding there? Don't tell me the game's glitched again. And no, it's not because of that. Everyone else is going into the pits. So I lost a little bit of time thinking that the game had glitched. But look at that. Everyone is now in the pits, and we are up into P5. And there is still a couple of people up ahead. I think it might have been Max Verstappen, I believe. No, Max Verstappen's actually behind us. So it was actually Sergio Perez. Yeah, and he now comes into... No, it's actually... Sorry, I apologise. It was Esteban Ocon leading the race. So we are now up into P4. But we do have Max Verstappen on our tail, and I'm hoping that we can keep him off, or keep him away from us. As I say that, it now goes for down at the inside of the hairpin, and we actually get good traction. It's so easy this year though in the wet, especially with medium traction control, because that's the setting that I use. It's so easy to spin up your rear tyres as we're going side by side towards the World of Champions. Thankfully though, the AI are actually smarter this year, and he does back out. So thankfully, we still hold on to P4. On to lap 17 then. And we've still got Max Verstappen behind us. We can't seem to shake him as we get a little bit twitchy out of the exit there. Oh, yeah, I had to take so many breaks because it just felt... I think recording this actually took about 2 hours. And yeah, I'm still doing voiceover, and yeah, this was draining. I tell you, it was so draining. And just think as well, when we're at Singapore, especially if it's raining in Singapore, that's not going to be fun. As we actually set a purple sector 3 at the end of lap 17, going on to lap 18, and I actually felt quite comfortable. Of course, the tyres were starting to get worn. The original time to pit was lap 22, I think it was. And then it got changed to lap 24 as Kimi Raikkonen is out of the race. And I was trying to find a good camera angle, but the only camera angle I wanted was these sort of ones. And yeah, kind of annoying. But oh well, it is what it is. He's out of the race, and we're still in P4, which if we can finish here would be absolutely fantastic. Just hoping that we don't get any engine issues. So let's keep our fingers crossed, shall we? Lap 23 then, and as you can see, the rain has now officially stopped. So I was hoping that it would dry out soon, because our tyres were like on 45-50% by this time. And I didn't really want to pit for another set of inches just to go onto the dries. And then next lap, you know, lap 24, I think this was it. I think this is where we decided to pit. Yeah, it was. We come into the pits, and this time we are going to be fitting the medium tyres. Of course, it is a little bit slippery out there, but everyone else around us is doing exactly the same thing. So we actually timed it to perfection. So fingers crossed we can come out ahead still of the others. And there's a decent pit stop time of 2.5 seconds. And we've got about 11-12 laps to go to hold on to P5. Sorry, about 10 laps to go to hold on to P5. Can we do it? It's going to be difficult. As you look at that, we just get too much wheel spin out the exit there. But it wasn't as bad as what 2020 would have been. By now the car would have been all over the place. Our teammate is in the pits. I was tempted as well just to see what tyres he went on, but he was way too far behind for me to even be bothered by it. Well, that sounds really, really horrible. But yeah, it's now... Oh, yeah, we get a little bit of contact with Charles Leclerc. And as you can see, actually, if you look on the bottom right there, did have a little bit of wing damage. But we are faster than him in the straight line. And it was this point as well, I think DRS was open. And there we go. Easy as you like. He goes past us. No point in trying to, you know, defend too much. As oh, we almost go into that barrier. And now Lando Norris is going to overtake us. And here it was literally, we are going to start falling down the grid. So it seems like actually this car is better in the wet. Sorry. So maybe we want some more wet races. And now Max Verstappen is right behind us. He's going to look for a move down the inside, but yet again he backs out. And that's probably the best of taking that corner in like years. And here we go. Max Verstappen is going to go down the inside. We are going to try and hold on to it a little bit, but at the same time there was really no point whatsoever. Lap 31 then, and it was about this time I was like, screw it, you know what, I'm going to go for the fastest lap. We're falling down the pecking order anyway. Perez was going to get us anytime soon. It was only a matter of time before Bottas would eventually have caught up to us anyway. So I was like, let's just end suffering and, you know, let's see if we can go for the fastest lap. So, with about 3 laps to go, I decided to put on the softs. And I was hoping to get ahead of Carlos Sainz so I had, you know, a clean track. But unfortunately, he's just ahead of us. Just ahead of us. If I just pitted that 1 lap earlier, it would have been a lot better. But on the 33rd lap, as you can see, we have got a purple sector 1. But the only problem is Carlos Sainz is in our way, so we are going to actually use overtake and DRS, and we are going to go down the inside. And you know what? That was actually a really nice manoeuvre. But because I was concentrating so much on getting this fastest lap, I forgot to record like any replays. So I'm sorry if there wasn't any different sort of camera angles this whole race. Like I say, I was just concentrating so much. But we do get past Carlos Sainz as we do try and go for the fastest lap. Of course, we've got purple sector 1, green sector 2, and it's all down to this last one. As we navigate the chicane actually really, really well. And we go across the line, and unfortunately, we are a second quicker than our fastest time. But it's not quick enough. We did it one more time as well. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And yeah, us trying to get that fastest lap, yeah, it wasn't going to happen. But going on to our last lap now, of course, the first lap and last lap is always unedited for you guys to watch. If you've got the corner, I was trying to find any bit of time to even go for the fastest lap. But as you can see, though, we've still got Carlos Sainz behind us, and then about 3 seconds down the road with Pierre Gasly. So, you know, I don't want to make any mistakes. I want to finish in the top 10. I think a top 10 finish this early in the season is a massive achievement. And like I say, I love these replays. They've done a damn good job with this year. But yeah, like I say, finishing in the top 10, sorry, like I say, this early on, this is only our fourth race, sorry. It's a massive achievement. Obviously, with that DNF last time out, of course, I showed you the footage of that earlier on. But yeah, you know, I'm not going to complain finishing 9th, because for us as a small team, it's amazing. Of course, don't downside this, our teammate is in P19. But as we come across the final chicane, we are going to cross the line and finish in a very respectable P9. Get in there, lads.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A truly magnificent drive then, and a great performance from the entire team to secure victory here in Canada. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So congratulations to Hamilton, Ricciardo and Vettel, and Lando Norris as well getting the P4. So good showing for McLaren and Aston Martin. But yeah, we finish in P9. I'm very, very happy with that. And Carlos Sainz also finishes in P10, so congratulations to him. And our teammate, in fact, actually look at that, Nicholas Latifi actually gets lapped. Our teammate was actually close to getting lapped as well, probably another 2-3 laps, and yeah, that was it for him. Nikita Mazepin actually had a good showing. Lance Stroll from P22 actually finished in 13th. And yeah, taking a look at the standings, and as per usual, Lewis Hamilton is top of the field with 102 points. He's running away with this. It's simple as he's really running away with it, and Mercedes are running away with it. They're 84 points clear at the top. Ferrari actually go up to P6 and Aston Martin up to P4. We hold on to 8th place for now, but we've still got a long way to go before the end of the season. But yeah, that is the end of today's episode. Hopefully you're okay with what happened in Azerbaijan and I did that. But let me know if even if I crash out or retire, do you want me to make it into a full-on episode? Because you know, some YouTubers are doing that. Arab has done that. Team at Marduk's done that. So yeah, just let me know in the comments. But obviously, as per usual, if you have liked this video, then drop it a like. Subscribe as well for more F1 2021 content. And yeah, see you in the next episode. See ya.